This video looked pretty interesting though. We can check this out. This is about BattleFailed 2042.
This video is sponsored by Keeps.
Nice.
War.
War.
Bullets, explosions, chemicals. Worse. But every day, the weaponry that supplements these wars only gets better. Tens of billions of dollars, thousands of hours of manpower, all spent on technology based on one thing: complete and utter annihilation of the other side.
Holy.
Contraptions too sick to even ponder. And over the decades, this new technology has changed warfare immeasurably. And it's only getting more advanced. Robot dogs, sentry guns,
Bezos?
surveillance,
What the
advanced. Robot
I
dogs,
think it is.
sentry guns, surveillance drones, and more
It's like
either
cat
already being
drone?
used
What the
or are in early stages of testing. And as a result, the landscape of war is changing forever. And with 20 years of simulating modern
classic.
combat with complete immersion, DICE sought to give us a glimpse into this future with their next game. And in 2021, with their most up-to-date tech, gargantuan budget, and 4 whole dev teams at their disposal, they were set to launch the biggest and best Battlefield game of all time.
Surely.
Battlefield 2042.
Surely it'd be the biggest and best.
But first,
Oh.
your hair.
My
There's
hair.
a chance that over time, it could fall off. Just like it did to me.
Rip.
That's
That's a
keeps.com
rip.
/big boss.
If it does, rip. If it doesn't, sick. Massive. The hype.
November 20th, 2018. Battlefield 5 has just fully launched, and it's looking a bit rough.
True.
Critic scores are looking good, but user reviews, not so much.
This game is totally not ready for
Fake
release.
history, no atmosphere,
A
0
quarter
out
of
of
a
10.
mediocre
Very sloppy
game.
SJW
This game
propaganda
already
rest
dead.
into feeling like a
EA
Kage
dice
time.
just robbed me.
Also, the marketing? Not the best. Turns out that insulting your fans and telling them not to buy
Basically,
your
forget what you learned in history
Best?
class.
Turns out that insulting your fans and telling them not to
Interesting.
buy your game isn't too productive here.
If you don't like it, don't buy it.
The trailer and cosmetics of the game also proved to be controversial.
It didn't work, huh? Crazy.
And the launch came packaged with a horde of glitches, bad anti-cheat,
Oh.
unbalanced weapons, and
Huh.
massive portions of the game delayed. Overall, not great. It had also been 2 consecutive World War Battlefield games, and the charm was starting to wear off. Fans longed for the days of
True.
high-rise skyscrapers, map-changing events, jets, helis, and so on.
I honestly get pretty like
Now-
skeptical whenever like a World War, like Call of Duty or like a big World War game comes out now. I get pretty skeptical because I'm like, ah man, I just don't really care at this point. Like it's already been done and done pretty good. I don't see how you could try to do it again and do it better. Because most of the time when they try to do it better, just like it don't really work out. They don't really do anything.
When it comes to military shooters, DICE isn't just anyone. They're EA's golden boy. EA sees Battlefield 5's
True.
sales are, well, disappointing. So they decide it's time for a change. And they know just what players want. It's Back to the Future, kids. And this is going to be a big one. And with that, pre-production of the next Battlefield begins. Naturally, we don't hear much about Battlefield for a while. However, throughout 2021, leaks start to drip, and we get our first taste.
The leaks.
Rumours of a return to Modern Warfare, a soft reboot of the franchise, a game heavily inspired by Battlefield 3, 128
classic.
players on PC and next gen. Wow.
I think Battlefield
Then
3
came the horribly grainy
was like the one that really got me into it. I still struggle to see if it's my favorite versus like 4, but it's the one that got me into the rest of them.
seizure-inducing
Fun.
leaked trailer footage. Quality's not great, but we're parched. Then came another,
We'll take anything.
and another. They're eventually stitched into one slightly coherent trailer, and
Gamers
Oh,
are
yeah.
down bad.
now this looked like Battlefield.
Hmm?
But finally, on June the 9th, 2021, the next Battlefield is officially revealed. And it looks
It
amazing.
looked so
Also,
good, man.
We were now practically bathing in information.
It looks so
First,
good, I
the
remember.
bad news. The squad system is being revamped into a specialist system. Basically, this system sounds more akin to a hero shooter than a classic Battlefield game. This is controversial, but we'll have to see how it plays out. And then there's no campaign. Not a massive loss, to be honest.
I never
But
played him, so it's
that
okay.
means more resources for multiplayer.
True.
Also,
So
a
good.
ton of leagues are confirmed. 128 players, massive scale warfare, modern combat, and turns out EA is throwing 4 whole studios at it. They also say that it's way ahead of
This
schedule.
all sounds great.
Also, there would be 3 whole game sections.
With
All-out
no
warfare,
campaign, this
the
sounds
traditional
massive.
Battlefield experience,
Sounds like they
including
could churn
Conquest
out
and
some
Rush,
crazy shit.
Hazard Zone,
Surely.
DICE's second take on a battle royale, partly inspired by Tarkov, and Portal, a game mode that includes maps, weapons, and soldiers from classic Battlefield games. Things were sounding great.
Sounds
And
interesting.
Battlefield 2042 was coming out in just 4 months, in October 2021. But then it's delayed by a month. But don't worry, everyone will have a chance to jump into the free beta in just a few weeks' time.
I think that got delayed too, no? And if not, the beta was... Holy, that thing was something else.
It's Friday, October
That shit was
6th,
painful.
and at 12 AM PDT, the beta goes online, and the first few players log on. Chaos. Awful player netcode results in rubber
Right.
banding and abysmal hit
man.
registration. The balancing is dreadful,
The lag,
Bugs
the
everywhere.
frames,
and the game just generally
the
feels
bugs.
off.
Oh man.
Also, where was the voice chat? A scoreboard? Anyone?
What the hell is even that?
This was looking
Oh my
real bad.
goodness. Some of the
Redditors take to
systems
the
were
streets
weird.
within hours. But DICE has an announcement. Gentlemen, relax. The build for the beta is a few months old. They tell us. The current build at DICE is in a lot better shape, and a ton of issues have been fixed. There's nothing to worry about.
Surely.
Redditors rejoice immediately. Thank God. The game was going to be fine. Phew,
That's all we need to
that
do.
was a close one. And now the wait for release begins.
We should have waited longer. That's the one thing I'll say.
Midnight, 12th of November, 2021.
I feel like this game
We'd
just
waited
came out
months
too
for
soon.
release,
It's just like too
and today
fast and
was the day.
furious.
Alright boys, it's go time. Players who'd forked out $100 to play the game a week before release boot up the game and jump in.
Surely it goes well.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Oh shit. Oh man, the invisible. Holy. He's invisible. Huh? The boats! They pose some Fortnite moves. This shit is crazy.
Can't even turn left or right.
It just goes up and down.
Of course, of course.
Yikes.
Players are greeted with an experience so soul-crushingly terrible and fundamentally broken. The game is review bombed mere hours after it launches. Only a handful of things from the
Remember,
beta had
that
actually
shit
been
did not look
fixed.
good.
In fact, for some people, even more seemed broken. Enjoy the horrible performance of the beta. How about
is
more
that?
crashes? Even worse netcode. Blurrier graphics. Coming right up.
Yeah, it
Performance is
did
awful on
actually.
PC,
When it did come out, it seemed like it
flickering
was
and
worse for a
pop-ins
lot of
plagues
people.
console.
From what I heard.
my god, what's wrong with your face?
Some fans are holding out for a comprehensive day one patch that would fix most of these issues when the game launched for everyone. But turns out, that had already gone up. Here's what it fixed. But when the game actually works,
Right.
you can jump into the fleshed out and richly developed world of Battlefield 2042. The world is dark and gritty. The climate has gotten so bad that natural disasters are almost ubiquitous, causing states to fail everywhere. Millions are starving, left without a country, and fighting a constant resource war worldwide, causing Germany's bankruptcy and... Wait, hold on. There's no campaign, so literally none of this matters at all. Also, if the
background
world
shit.
is so awful, why are the soldiers like this?
What a time to be alive!
Okay.
Well. That was fun. I am not overconfident. I'm just better than everyone else.
Oh.
What the hell was that?
Bullet spread in
that,
registration is still abominable, and people are unloading full mags of their weapons at point blank range, and not landing a single hit. There are many such cases. The balancing? Well, that's still awful too.
That is one big pile of shit.
The PP29 is almost the only viable automatic
Ooh,
weapon,
that thing
as
was
it's
disgusting.
the only one that can sort
Oh,
of
I
have a
love
shot.
that thing.
So naturally, half
thing
of the
was
lobby is
nasty.
running around with it. Hovercrafts are also incredibly overpowered, being that they're
What?
gunned. They
Wait,
spawn
that was
almost
that
indefinitely.
was like the hoverboat thingy.
Are also incredibly overpowered, being that they're gunned. They spawn almost indefinitely, and there's 10 of them headed directly towards your team at all times.
Oh, poop.
They can also climb buildings and
Jeez.
literally fly. Then there's the squad system, essentially the core pillar of a Battlefield game. This time round, it's
True.
not looking too hot.
Dude,
First
the
off,
squads are
it's
so
a game
weird.
with 128 players.
The audio is
Your
messed
squad is
up.
limited to 4.
Sometimes you would join a squad with absolutely nobody in it. Oh my goodness, the squads are absolutely ruined.
Not a great start. Then, unless you're with friends, you're forced into a squad of randomers, and you can't pick which squad to move to, or
True.
create your own. A friends come online halfway through your game? Unlucky. It's time to back out to the main menu, invite them, and search for a new one. Also,
That's gross.
there are no squad points, no chat, no spawn preview, no emotes, and you can't see what equipment your squad is carrying, essentially rendering your squad absolutely useless. Also, the addition of specialists means classes are now a thing of the past,
That's
making
so
team play
weird.
even more redundant. The specialist system also means that players on both teams look exactly the same. Didn't see that tiny friendly dot above your teammate's head? Unlucky, son.
Straight dead. Damn.
Maps in 2042 are abhorrently underdesigned.
Who is
and
you're
around
missing those dots a
70%
couple
of the lobby
times.
concentrated on a
That'd
couple
be
of
pain.
flags, leaving about 4 players on any other objective at any given time. This is in a game of 128 people. The map size also results in running extremely long distances,
so much
only to
running.
get obliterated by snipers or helis.
True.
The actual graphics
Or
of
to
the
see
maps are in some
absolutely
cases
nothing.
worse than Battlefield 5. The destruction? Not great. Some buildings' walls are still destroyable, but you can't take
That's
down
cool.
the actual buildings. Something you could do more than a decade ago in Bad Company 2.
That's a lot of damage.
There
Which
are
was
still
always fun.
destructive events, but needless to say, they fall a bit short of the mark.
Oh, that thing looks cool. Still to this day. Well, that's it.
The content? Where is it? This game has a total of 22 weapons. Battlefield 4
That's so
had
pathetic.
83. Battlefield 4 also had 3 times the gadgets, 3 more maps, and a ton more customization for aircraft and helicopters.
Just overall,
Then there's fewer
everything
game modes
more.
at launch, no stat page, no server browser,
Jesus.
dog tags are gone, and so on. The movement. DICE said pre-launch that they were building on what they did with Battlefield 5. Let's take a look at that. Crouch sprinting? Not in the game. Rolling? Gone. Lying on your back while prone? Absent.
That wasn't a
Grabbing a
thing.
ledge while falling? Not in the game. Literally just leaning left and right like every game post 2012? No.
Disgusting.
You also can't dive under the water like you could in every Battlefield since 4. However,
Wait, can't?
if you stab the water enough times, you can glitch yourself under it. The UI is
I
so
don't even
dreadful
remember
that
that.
you can't even tell if your settings are toggled on or off. The melee, well, it speaks for itself.
Bro stabbed in 3 times. What in the
Assassinations
fuck?
are in the game, but they're lazily done. The man you're about to kill is prone. Why don't you help him up, kick him back down again, then stab him in the chest? That makes a lot of sense. DICE added
Why not
AI
just
bots
stab
to
him
the
on the
game
ground,
to pad
man?
out lobbies
All these
and make
extra
sure they're never
steps.
dead.
I gotta
One
pick
issue.
him up.
They're absolutely moronic.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
kind of retarded.
And lastly, there's still no stat page, voice chat, or even a scoreboard.
Still.
And all of that
Jesus.
was just the actual game design. Then there were the bugs. Are those my footsteps on dry concrete? Why is my gun firing blanks? Did you just die with so much as a toe touching a wall or rock?
Oh my goodness,
Sorry,
that
pal.
felt the worst. It's like you would unload a whole clip into somebody and you would shoot absolutely
Firing
nothing.
blanks. Did you just die with
It
so
happened
much as a toe
so
touching a
many
wall or
times.
rock? Sorry, pal. Nothing I can do. You just parachute down from the sky? Well, there's a chance that it stays deployed after you land. Meaning there's now a parachute above you at all times, completely giving away your position. Vehicle physics are slightly broken. Helicopter hot landings are hot.
Oh.
Every time you jump in a tank gun, it's so jittery you might as well be
Oh.
sat directly on top of the engine. By the way, you can actually shoot yourself with that gun while getting inside. Nice.
What?
Then there's the random people frozen all around
What?
the map, no hit detection
Why,
on
man?
buildings, flying
Oh,
across
shut
the map using a ladder, and so on. But hey, the main game's not great.
What?
And Hazard Zone is pretty forgettable, but at least Portal mode is decent. Wait, what's that? The
Portal?
ability to earn XP from it has been removed because of people boosting.
Huh? So?
That was enough 2042 for one day.
What? Wait, they got rid of it because of boosters.
People are
Nah,
confused.
That's crazy.
What the hell, DICE? Where was the stat page? Voice chat? A scoreboard? Legacy features? DICE response? Their scientists and engineers had been
Legacy
strapped for time
features.
and couldn't get them working for launch. But they promised these intricate and time-consuming features would eventually be implemented. But forget about that. In terms of basic features, the game seemed to have regressed more than a decade. Even the graphics in some cases. Something was clearly disastrously wrong.
That can't actually be real, Bird.
Even the
that cannot be real. There is no way that's real.
graphics in some cases. Something was clearly disastrously
There's no
wrong.
way.
And naturally,
That's
the
so
inevitable
bad.
happens. What was a strong start with over
That's so
100k
bad,
players
man.
on Steam soon starts to dwindle. Within a single month, the game falls below Battlefield 5's player numbers.
Jeez.
Player numbers get so bad that cheaters literally discontinue selling their own cheats because of it. Damage control mode was now on. DICE devs gather round. What do players want? What do they need? What about skins?
Skins.
Steve, draft us up a Santa Claus outfit.
Genius.
That looks amazing.
Santa Claus.
Whip us up a medieval knight, would you?
Oh man.
Day of the Dead Man. Baz, get on it.
Would they actually
What about
put
a clown
skins in the game? No way.
A clown. Perfect.
No way this was the answer.
These skins end up getting leaked ahead of their
Oh
launch. And the
no.
backlash is so bad. DICE is forced
Actually
to drop
did it.
them. A series of DICE tweets also
Jesus.
stokes some fires. First, a DICE employee tweets about fans' brutal expectations. A stat page, voice chat, basic squad mechanics.
What, you mean things you already
A
had?
mid-game scoreboard. Brutal indeed. A pre-launch tweet where a DICE employee says that the game was in a solid state and that it wasn't his first rodeo. Also
You
gains
can't make a
notoriety.
scoreboard with 4 teams? Oh man.
So in a shocking twist, the developers of a released AAA game rush to actually finish their game.
Oh?
November 24th, patch 2 is released. This addresses
Saved?
the crazy bullet spread on most weapons, as well as addressing some other balancing issues. 2nd of December,
Fixing
patch
time.
3 is released. This brings UI
Three?
improvements and more balancing changes. Also, the scoreboard was supposed to release in this update, but that's been delayed.
Oh.
Also, Season 1 of the game is delayed till summer, a full 6 months after launch, as DICE are so busy actually finishing the game. March 8th,
They're just making the game
2022.
at the moment.
patch 3.3 is released. After months of work, DICE's finest engineers
got
and
it.
top talent working around the clock, billions in R&D, and unprecedented resource allocation, DICE had cracked it. And at the UN General Assembly, they showcase an actual, functioning scoreboard. My
Holy.
God,
Holy.
nothing short of a miracle. April 18th,
Gorgeous.
patch 4. It had taken 5 months of work post-launch, but now DICE's quantum mechanical scientists are on a roll. First the scoreboard. Now they'd cracked
They're on
something
a roll.
arguably more impressive. Multiplayer voice chat.
Which one of
Oh.
you motherfuckers called my mom gay?
Everybody type in the chat, Alex is a stupid...
DICE goes on to win multiple government communications contracts, and everyone on the team is nominated for Nobel Prizes
Shut
respectively.
up, man. Jesus.
Oh, and after this patch, those physics-defying hovercrafts should no longer be flying through the stratosphere.
Oh,
Despite
man.
these cutting-edge advancements,
Oh, that sucks.
almost no one is actually playing the game. Over 100,000 have actually signed a petition to get it refunded. But on June the 9th, Season 1 is finally released. Version 1.0. Finally, what DICE considered a full game. 7 months after launch,
Massive.
and Season 1 adds 1 map, a specialist, 2 guns, and 2 helicopters. Compare this to Battlefield 1's first DLC that included 4 maps, 2 operations, a new mode, 6 new weapons, 2 tanks, and a new class.
Damn. That's quite a bit.
Despite the lack of content, this does revive the player base somewhat. Season 1 also includes a ton of patches, one of which fixes the bug where landing your helicopter at the pace of a falling feather would result in instantaneous explosion.
Huge.
Plans to rework maps and classes are also underway.
Massive. So they're just slowly just rebuilding the game. While it's out.
So what went wrong?
Well, not really rebuilding. Almost making the game while it's out. It's
Let's
kind of
dive in.
crazy. Kind
A
of crazy.
month after the game's launch, prominent leaker Tom Henderson releases a video explaining, from his sources, the inside scoop of development.
Inside
It's
scoop.
interesting. According to him, due to EA's restrictions on creative freedom, a ton of DICE's veteran developers leave the studio to form their own after Battlefield 5's release. This is also when pre-production for 2042 is just getting going. EA looks around. They see a market filled with battle royales and hero shooters, all just bursting at the seams with money. They want in, and they think Battlefield would be
Right.
perfect for it. Their game plan is simple. Listen lads, see all that popular stuff out there? Do that. And DICE gets to work. In February
Right.
2019, Respawn's Apex Legends releases and basically starts printing EA money straight out the gate. EA likes, so
Did do
DICE
pretty
takes
well.
a bit of inspiration. And in late 2019, a battle royale setting and the concept of specialists are born. Now there are a few problems surfacing. The first up being the game's engine, Frostbite. Battlefield 5 was developed in just 2 years, meaning DICE didn't have the time to update the game's engine to the newest version. This time round, however, their game had 3 years in the oven, so DICE has plenty of time to upgrade. Now, it was DICE's devs who'd actually created Frostbite in the first place, so this would be a breeze. Wait, hold on. Haven't all those devs just left? Oh god. So barely anyone left at DICE knows how to
So
actually
nobody
use
knows.
the engine. And naturally,
Nobody knows how to use the thing.
2042's Frostbite update ends up taking a while. A long while. In fact, upgrading the engine alone takes over half of the game's development time. What was supposed to take 6 months has now taken 18. Fast
Damn.
forward to March 2020, and everyone's working from home now. This is not good. A process that takes a few minutes
the
in
vid.
office could now take hours. Also,
The vid.
EA has
That was
decided to
absolutely
backtrack
tragic.
and is now saying they want 2042 back to a more classic Battlefield formula. DICE now has to spend a ton of time redesigning the game, and the original concept of 2042 is tacked on as a new game mode. Hazard Zone. August 2020. The concepts and ideas are finalised, and the actual game development begins. This leaves DICE around 1 year and 3 months of actual development time. This is very short for a AAA
is
game of this
pretty
scale,
small.
and that's
That is
compounded
a
by the
pretty
fact
small
everyone's
window.
working from home. Also, new devs are still joining. In fact, at this point, almost 90% of DICE's designers had joined after Battlefield 1, 60% during 2042. DICE is now a completely different studio.
I don't even know who you are.
In February 2021,
That's crazy.
EA's CEO
So they're
comes
trying to
out
settle with a
world.
new team while trying to
The
release a
Battlefield
new
team
game
is doing an
that's
incredible
under
job.
a new
The
engine
game
that
is
they don't
way
quite
ahead of
understand.
internal milestones.
Fascinating.
Isn't that right? Sure. A month later, and DICE realises they're definitely not going to hit internal milestones. Frostbite engineers are then forced to drop their projects and jump on board. Time goes by, and progress on the game is made. And by August, the game is being beta tested internally. It's not long before the consensus is clear. This game is hot dog shit. The only option
It's
here is
not good,
clearly
boys.
another delay. This game could use at least another year in the oven. No.
But they only delayed it
Says
for like a
EA.
month or two.
No more delays. No more ovens. The game is launching this year. DICE has no choice.
Oh.
And on the 12th of November 2021, the game releases.
They were like forced. They were, oh man. They had to.
Battlefield 2042 today is in a much more solid state. And DICE
I mean,
has
that's-
even recently released
It's like
their
what I
first
said
three
earlier,
worked
man.
map.
They just needed more
Here's how
time.
that's going. However, at this point, few people are still playing the game. 2042
Like-
Steam numbers stoop
Like
down
some more time, man, and just more time in the oven, man. Just give it more time.
to sub 5,000, and the game slips further into irrelevance. Claims begin to circulate that EA is now in abandoned ship mode, and that 2042 devs are now down to a skeleton crew.
Damn.
And so, another one of EA's once talented developers has been squeezed dry, its talents harvested, and its franchise forever tainted.
Classic move. Feels bad, man. It was looking like it would be a good one too, but unfortunately not.